I'm talking to that person who grew up without a father. I'm talking to that person who grew up without a mother. I'm talking to that person who didn't grow up with handouts. I'm talking to that person who maybe if you did grow up with a little bit of handouts, but maybe you were misunderstood and you were overlooked and you were undervalued and you were mishandled and misguided.
You got a dream to buy a house. You got a dream for better relationships. You got a dream to win a fight. You got a dream to get your family out of the hood. You got a dream to lose weight. I mean, whatever that dream is, whatever you have, that goal, that improbable feat, once you get it set, once you smell that, once you get a feel for it, a taste of it, and the underdog is an individual who refuses to live in the dark. They refuse to remain in obscurity. They refuse to live in stress and overwhelm and anxiety. They are somebody who is tired. Like when you come to the end of yourself, you got to get tired. Like you have to get tired. Something inside of you has to snap. You got to get tired of being broke. When you get tired of being coined the loser, being coined not enough, being overlooked and undervalued and underpaid, you got to get tired of that. When you get tired, that's when you win.
The underdog is a person that comes out on the playing field and says, okay, I've been in this place of pain my whole life. I've gone without for so long. This is the day you make up in your mind where I will take the throne. I'm talking to that person that is acquainted with pain. I'm talking to that person that knows what it's like to come from nothing. And so you literally have nothing to lose. And the only thing that's in your head is a dream. The only thing that's in your head is I have what it takes to get to the top of that hill. Because I am not the wolf on the hill. I am the wolf climbing the hill. I have nothing to lose.
Counted out, overlooked, undervalued, misguided, betrayed. Somebody who has been really dishonored, disrespected. Somebody who has lost everything, who people stop believing in, is a very desperate person. They're climbing a hill. They're trying to achieve a dream. And when you are desperate, you are very dangerous. And a dangerous man or woman is somebody who is a disruptor. They don't play by the rules. They are coming for blood. They are coming for blood.
Your story is not your fortress. Your story is your fuel. When you doubt the underdog, it's like music to his ears. Tell me I'm not good enough. Tell me I'm not strong enough. Tell me I won't finish. There is this intrinsic emotion, this instinct. You have just awakened the lion in me because they said you can't do it. They said you don't have what it takes to make the investments. They said you don't have what it takes to lose the weight. They say you don't have what it takes to hang on to your marriage. Everybody has been counted out. Everybody has been doubted. The underdog is not a person who doesn't feel pain, doubt, and fear. The underdog is a person that turns that pain, that doubt, that fear into their fuel. If you came from a place where you had nothing, that's everything that you need.
Everybody wants a piece of the pie. Okay? Everybody wants a piece of the pie. In any facet of life, in every arena you walk in, there's pie. And the thing is that pie doesn't get any bigger. The pie never gets any bigger. It's the disciplined, desperate, dangerous mentality of an individual that says, I'm gonna push whoever I gotta push out of my way to get my piece of the pie. Those are the people that get the pie. Because the pie doesn't get any bigger and the pie does not pursue you. You have to go after it. So whatever it is that you're going after, whatever it is you feel as though you've been destined to do, are you willing to push whoever, whatever, out of your way to get your piece of the pie? So if you're listening to me right now and there's anything in your life that is defeating you, if there's anything in your life it seems like an improbable feat, you gotta smell blood. Once you get that scent like a hound dog, you get that scent, you see what is possible, you see what you are capable of. In the face of adversity, in the face of challenges, in the face of everybody that says you are not enough, you're not tall enough, you're not big enough, you're not wide enough, you're not fast enough, it's in that very moment that the dreams gotta get bigger than the disappointment, than the fear, than the anxiety, than the stress, than the overwhelm. It's got to get bigger, the dream. Once that dream gets bigger and you get a scent for that dream, you start to smell that dream. There's nothing on planet Earth that can stop you. You become armed and dangerous. You are the most dangerous individual on planet Earth.
And so an underdog is just somebody who refused to live in the setback. It is a person who rebels against your reality. Your reality of me is that I'm not enough. Your reality of me is that I'm not qualified. Your reality of me is that I'm not quick enough. I'm not fast enough. I'm not tall enough. I'm not linear enough. This is your reality. My reality of me is that all I have is all I need. I'm coming after everything you said I couldn't have. If you're gonna come back from the setback, the number one thing you have to do is make up your mind that you are no longer going to live in the pain of the past. Pain is inevitable and it is unavoidable. And when we talk about this underdog mentality, the underdog is just a man or a woman who has made up their mind. They are no longer going to live in their setbacks. They are no longer going to live in your reality. Your reality of me says I'm not enough. Your reality of me says I can't do this. Your reality of me says you won't finish today. My reality says all I have is all I need. I'm not living in my setback any longer. I'm moving forward. When we talk about a dog mentality, the dog scrambles, the dog barks, the dog runs after whatever it wants. When a dog is hungry, move out of his way, because it's coming for blood. And the reason why you don't have what you want is because you are not hungry enough. You are gonna have to push, 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 push.
What if I told you that what tried to break you trained you? What tried to delay you disciplined you? And even the isolation that you've been navigating has sharpened you. What if I told you that you are not late, you are loaded with potential? Could it be possible that average convinces us that survival is success? How is it that we've gotten to the place where we normalize being tired, being defeated, being active, but not accomplishing anything? Average is the enemy of dominion. You cannot rule what you refuse to master. Average people avoid mastery. Average numbs your hunger while stealing your assignment. Average brings us into prisons and pits and caves where we lose our desperation, where we are no longer hungry for a quality of life. This is not your end. This is your deployment. This is not a motivational speech. This is a summons. You are commissioned. This is not inspiration. This is instruction. No more rehearsals, no more almost, no more one day. I move when God says move. I strike when the window opens. I obey without negotiation. I finish what I start. You did not survive to just tell a story. You survived to execute your assignment. Get up and evaluate. Get up and be grateful that you are still alive. Even if it feels as though you have lost everything, you still have your faith. So focus, focus, focus. Let faith be stirred and focus. Because history does not remember the distracted, it remembers the devoted. You cried and suffered long enough from scattered focus, from borrowed dreams, from noise that promised comfort but stole your calling. Enough tears have fallen on confusion. Now is the time to weep and work. You may be hurting, but work. You may be bleeding, but build. You may be tired, but get up. It's time to labor with vision and build with conviction to give birth to something that will still speak when the dust has settled over your bones. Greatness is not loud at the beginning. Sometimes greatness is quiet, lonely, and it will demand separation from everything that attempts to knock you off course. Greatness demands discipline. Average negotiates them away. Average attracts applause from people who settled. They will clap for you, not because you are great, but because you make them comfortable. Your life, your endeavors, your assignment, your anointing, if you actually walk in it, should make somebody uncomfortable. A lot of you listening to me were born into bloodlines that have suffered through generational captivity. You start and you don't finish. You get an idea and it stays in the journal. You did not fail and you're not finished. You did not come this far. You did not sweat that hard. You did not bleed and grind and hustle and pray and fast and hope for your heart to stop beating here. I need you to declare this with me. I refuse to die with instructions still inside of me. I refuse to meet God with unused faith. I refuse to explain why I played so small when I was trained for war. I was trained to fulfill my destiny. Everything you survived was for this hour, and so there's no more catching up. You're stepping in. And this is not the season of preparation. No, this is the season of execution. It is now, not when it's comfortable. It is now, not when it is applauded. The time is now, because your moment, your opportunity, the open window, this cannot be rescheduled. It is now or never. And I don't do never. This is the hour to shut the door on all trivial pursuits and concentrate your strength to one assignment. Do you want an ordinary life or do you want an exceptional one? A life full of faith, fire, fulfillment, significance, passion, and purpose. I don't know about you, but I would rather be a master of one thing, exceptional with one idea, that I stayed the course, that I remained faithful, than to be notorious for starting something and not finishing. There are destinies attached to the decisions that you make. Your family, your community, your country, your people, generations are waiting on the discipline you keep postponing. The future is listening for a voice that refuses to be average. Decide now that you will be exceptional, that you will lead a life that is absolutely extraordinary. You've got rooms to walk in, tables to sit at, families to impact, generational captivity to break. But you gotta believe, because consequences come when we remain comfortable. You think you came this far to be average, to be ordinary? All of the times the enemy underestimated you? After everything you've been through, you're gonna settle for average. I am not forgotten.
I am not disqualified, and I am not finished. I am aligned. I am authorized. I am appointed. I am awake. Each tear that I have cried has been the tuition that I must pay to fulfill my destiny. I did not come this far to almost obey, to almost figure it out, to almost finish. I did not come this far to just understand. I did not come this far to just take notes at a conference and not fulfill what it is that God put me on this planet to do. This is not your end. This is your deployment. You're not finished. I'm not asking if this is my time. I am declaring it. The nightmare is to reach our 60s, our 70s, our 80s, or even our deathbed, and to talk about everything we should have done. I should have done that. I should have invested in this. I should have made the relationship work. I shouldn't have got a divorce. We talk about all the things we wanted to do, but never got it done. That's the nightmare. That's the nightmare that we all must avoid. This is your moment to decide. Will you continue on living the life that you have lived? Or will you unlock your greatest potential? There are things that you have been called to do that you have never done. And there are things that you have been called to do that no one on earth has ever done. Some of you have journals full of dreams and no action has been taken. Get to work. Make this year the first year of the best years of your life. This is my year. This is not the year that I play around with my life. This is not the year that I sit and wait for destiny to hunt me down. I will hunt everything down that belongs to me. Life is not just a game of attraction. It is a game of hunting. It is a game of evolving to become the best version of yourself, putting in the work. This must be the year that you are not defined by your history, but you fulfill your destiny. If you want to see this thing differently this year, everything you do has to change.
You've been walking around the knockoff version of yourself. This is not the real you. The real you is breathing down your neck, begging you to manifest.
It's your turn. It's your time. You've waited long enough. You've got the strategy. You've done your homework. You've got the belief system. Now just put it in. I'm not afraid of rejection. I'm not afraid of failure. I'm giving it everything I have. And as much as life has tried to amputate my spirit, I refuse to go down. It's time to get out of the way. Stop blaming everybody and look yourself in the mirror. It's your fault you failed. I tried it last year and it didn't work. No, you didn't work. Am I gonna repeat my history or will I blaze a new trail? This is the year that I don't make excuses. This is the year I stop complaining about the past. This is the year that I give everything I have. You have to get hungry.
A lot of us, we watch everybody win in every facet of life. We watch the underdog rise under the lights. And we think to ourselves, when is it going to be my time? When is it going to be my time? And in order to be next, you got to change the way you live, you eat, you walk, you talk, you think. It's got to be a lifestyle change. When you shift your paradigm, when you shift your thinking, then what we see in our head will become our reality. Take your time, your talent, and your treasure and execute. When you have your mind made up that no matter how you're feeling, every day you're going to give it everything you have, then all of a sudden the world opens up to you. Come to the resolve this year that dedication, discipline, perspective, preparation, is going to be your new code of conduct. What truly separates the extraordinary individuals who changed the world and shaped the course of history from the average masses, it's a combination of talent, grit, resilience, and an indomitable spirit that propels them to achieve the unthinkable. It's the 1% when they are faced with crushing and failures and demoralizing setbacks that would make most quit. It's the 1% that view the problems and the challenges and the setbacks as opportunities to overcome every single day. And the 1% of people, the 1% are fueled by a growth mindset. They consistently seek to learn, they consistently seek to improve themselves. They have a hunger to be stronger. Those who refuse to be average are always moving. There's a drive in them. There's a desire and a passion. There's a calling to be innovative, to blaze trails, to pursue, to be phenomenal, to be unforgettable. There's a drive. There's a hunger. It's what they eat. It's what they breathe. The process. It's who they are becoming on the way to the target. These are the people that can push through pain, and they can see a luminous future. They can see what's possible. They can feel their stored up potential. If they don't quit, if they don't throw in the towel, if they believe in themselves and put faith in God, that He will see them through. Let me tell you what separates the legends from the average. They're very clear on their why. Here's why I'm relentless. Here's why I'm hungry. Because if I don't do this, nobody else will. They're purposeful and passionate. They're self-aware. They're confident. They're continuously learning. They are curious and persistent and patient and disciplined. When you've had enough, find a mirror and tell yourself, enough is enough. I refuse to be average. Enough is enough. Separate yourself from not enough. Separate yourself from scarcity and lack and defeat. The greatest version of you is not the I can do anything version of you. The greatest version of you, come on, you know it, is the person that's got parameters. The person that says, no, I can't do that. I can't go there. I can't taste that. I can't touch that. I've got an unwavering self-belief and a confidence. I've got impeccable integrity and values and character. I will not bow to ordinary. I got people to see, places to go, tables to sit at. I got work to do. I just need you to believe that at the end of all of this, that you are the 1%. Some of you don't even realize you have unfinished business. You need to go back where you left off with a new perspective. Go back to the gym. Go back to the drawing board. Go back to the business. Go back to the relationship. Go back to the burning building. You have unfinished business. All you got to do is show up with a new game plan and a new perspective. You got unfinished business. You have unfinished business. You got work to do. Perspective is everything. Let's go. I need you to hear me loud and clear. How you see this thing is everything. You cannot change the past, but you can change your perspective about it. You gotta see this thing differently. Stop complaining about the divorce. Stop complaining about the job loss. Stop complaining about the relocation. Your viewpoint is your advantage. Thank you for breaking up with me. Here's what you did. You opened up another opportunity for somebody else to come into my life. Thank you for firing me. You gave me an opportunity to explore entrepreneurship. I'm not bitter, I'm better. Perspective
is what changes the game. Everybody wants increase and abundance and lifestyle change and new zip codes and new area codes, but you only read once a week and you only work out once or twice a month. And so the reason why you don't have what it is that you see, the reason why what's in your head is not in your hands, it's not your reality, it's because your perspective opposes your potential. You don't have it because you don't see the value in it. If you believe you've been called to be the difference maker, the game changer, the disruptor, the person that comes into a room and commands the atmosphere, if you believe you've been called to be necessary and not grossly irrelevant, then everything you do, everything you see, everything rises and falls on your perspective, your perception, your viewpoint. How do you see this thing? What happens when your perspective, your perception diametrically opposes your reality? If you are going to give and grow and evolve and attain and become, everything rises and falls on your viewpoint. Show me somebody that hates to work out, and I'll show you a man that almost lost his life, and the doctor said, if you don't work out, you'll die. One sees it as cumbersome, one sees it as a problem, another one sees it as a privilege. He sees it as his second chance, his new lease on life, that I have to work out. I get to work out. I get a chance to live a little longer. So one person sees the gym as a prison, and another person sees the gym as a passport. One man came within inches of losing his life, and another man has never come within 100 miles of losing his life, and he only works out twice a month, and somebody else works out 4 or 5 times a week. The reason why you only do it once or twice a month is because you don't see the value. Your viewpoint is either your advantage or your assassin. Your viewpoint will either get you going or get you killed. We see a storm, we see rain, and we think depression. We think I can't do anything. Instead of thinking grass can't grow without rain, roses don't bloom without rain. Number one, there's one thing I need you to stop saying, and that is, I should do something. That perspective, that viewpoint, that ideology, that philosophy, that mindset is gonna get you bankrupt. I should start this. I should stop that. I should forgive. I should. You don't get what you should, you get what you must have. I must work out X amount of times a week. I must forgive. I must evolve. I must become. I must retain. I must grow. I must live. I must evolve. I must go to the next level. I must live in this type of house. I must drive this type of car. I don't care how bad you think the shoes are that you are wearing. There is another man in this world who would kill to walk a mile in the pair that you wear. Marcus, what does this mean? This means that what you are complaining about, what you hate, what you can't stand, what you want to walk out of, what you want to give up on, there is somebody out there that would die to be in your position. And so here's what I need you to ask yourself. Is this problem an issue or is it an opportunity? Some of you, all you've been waiting for your whole life was an opportunity. What if losing your job was the opportunity? What if the divorce is an opportunity? What if the bankruptcy is an opportunity? What if the one you loved was an opportunity for you to reconnect with somebody and forgive them? I need you to see the bigger picture. I need you to have a little gratitude. You need to learn how to smile. You need to work out. I know you hate the gym. I know you hate to lift weights. I know you hate cardio. I know you don't like drinking water. I know you don't like taking care of your temple. You think it's the hardest thing to do in the world to commit. But there is somebody who's in the grave today, and if they had another opportunity to live, they would enthusiastically, with great confidence and courage and consistency, do what you hate just to live a little longer. Find the positive, see the bigger picture. Guard your gratitude. The trial, the tribulation, the adversity, the giant is not your assassin. The giant is your opportunity. Are you going to complain in the face of conflict, or are you going to seize the opportunity? I don't care what it is that you're trying to achieve, what you're trying to accomplish, what you're trying to give, how you're trying to evolve, what you are looking to become. Everything rises and falls on your perspective. Stop complaining about the jealousy and the envy and the backbiting and the person that gave up on you and the person that wasn't present and the person that lied to you and the person that attempted to manipulate and control. I'm not weary, I'm wiser. I'm not toxic, I'm triumphant. I see this thing differently. This season that you've entered into did not come to break you. It came to build you into the man or woman God has destined you to be. Change your perspective.
There's a reason why they say, see the light at the end of the tunnel. If you don't see that light, you're going to lose your mind. You will lose yourself. You will snap in half if you don't see past this. The challenge for many of us is that we got to see past our present pain and into the fruitfulness of the future. The right perspective makes the impossible possible. You cannot change the past, but you can always change your perspective. No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. The severity of your problems is a matter of perspective. Change your perspective, and most of them become insignificant. Some of them will no longer exist as problems, but opportunities. The right perspective is the instrument you need, the tool you need. It's a discipline, it's an advantage. If you change the way you look at things, then the things that you see will change. Knowledge, a speech, a motivational moment will not sustain you unless you put it into perspective. How will you see the rest of your day? Because how you see the rest of your day will oftentimes determine the way you see the rest of your life. Shift your perspective. If you can change your perspective, you can change the future.
Many of you listening to me right now, you have unfinished business, and you need to go back to that dream, back to that idea. You have a date with destiny. You have unfinished business. It's time for you to go back to the drawing board with a new perspective. It's your viewpoint. And watch this. Your perspective actually shapes your language, and your language shapes your world. And so if you don't start thinking right, you're not going to talk right. And if you're not talking right, you're not going to experience the world that you see in your head. I don't know who God has called you to become, but what I can tell you is if you keep seeing it the way you have seen it, you will never become it. Everybody wants next level. Everybody wants wealth and influence, and everybody wants to be this esoteric novelty. But listen to me, you will never experience any of this showing up in your next season with the same viewpoint.
The right perspective makes the impossible possible. If you are alive, you have another opportunity to begin again.
You got to get up on your own. You got to be able to make big decisions on your own. You got to lose weight on your own. There are a myriad of targets you have to hit by yourself. Oftentimes, it's the people that go away into a very healthy isolation to equip themselves, to condition themselves, to educate themselves, to come out empowered. And so you got to get into this workspace where you can do it by yourself. And I know you're fractured, and I know you're bleeding in places nobody can see, but if you shut it down, you can heal. You're standing at the precipice, the edge of the greatest move in your life, and the time is now like never before to take a leap of faith. Stop waiting to feel like it. Stop waiting until you see it. Stop waiting for somebody to come and save you. Nobody's coming to rescue you. The question is, how bad do you want this? You feel like you're underpaid and undervalued and overlooked, but listen, get up! This is the day that everything changes. Go through the process. Go through the mud, run in the rain, dance in the snow, inhale, exhale, come back and shock the world. Find a mirror and tell yourself, I got this today. I got this today. I'm gonna make it. I'm going to create it. I'm going to build it. All I have is all I need. Resources may come and go. People may come and go, but I've got a vision, and I've got the provision, and I've got the determination and the discipline to hit my aims and to punch through my targets. You may be tired, you may be broken, you may be hurting, people may have betrayed you, lied on you, left you, but you refuse to give up. It takes faith to pull away from everything that is familiar, to step into uncharted territory, to become the person you were born to be. It takes faith. Everybody wants to grow a little bit taller, so we gotta push a little bit harder. Life is lived on levels, and I can't bring my spotter with me. The spotter cannot walk with you all of your life. At some point, you gotta say, I got this. Push! Can you walk away from everything for 30 days? Just 1 month, 720 hours. Imagine who you could be in 30 days. You got one life to live. Rain, sleet, or snow. The time is now. Every day that you wake up, remember, someone else did not. You are alive for a reason. Why on earth are you here? This is your day. You've got a window. You've got another 24 hours because you may not make it to tomorrow. And I'm just wondering what you're gonna do with the day. The reason why days often feel meaningless and mundane is because we are directionless. You gotta get some direction. I'm just wondering, what are you gonna do in this next 24 hours that you did not do? I'm just wondering if you're gonna level up 2 millimeters more than you did yesterday. Are you gonna get better? Are you gonna get stronger? Are you gonna get wiser? Are you gonna see this thing differently? I'm just wondering, when are you going to see the power of 24 hours? That you did not have to wake up, that God did not have to give you another opportunity to be here, another opportunity to forgive somebody, another opportunity to let it go, another opportunity to look up and get up. I'm just wondering, when are you going to seize the opportunity? Accept where you are. Get cognizant about your money. Get cognizant about your relationships. Where are you mentally? Where are you spiritually and emotionally and financially and economically? Are you driving what you are destined to drive? Where's your health? Where's your heart? Let's get aware of where we are. This is my day to read a new book. This is my day to start a journey. This is my day to make an investment. This is my day to invest in myself. This is my day and this is my time, and it's my turn to crush this day. This is the day I learn like I never have. This is the day I invest like I never have. This is the day I take it seriously. I got one window. I may not be here tomorrow. I'm just wondering if you're gonna rise and see the opportunity. Get up, get up, get up. You've got a day to conquer. If the day's going to be good, I gotta heal from the mistakes that were made yesterday. I've gotta believe that I don't have to make the same mistakes. It's time to heal. Today I heal. Today I heal from every mistake that is made. Today I heal from everything that I said that I could have said better, and everything that was said to me that I wish was never said. I heal today from the people that pushed me verbally but did not support me physically, that were never present. Today I heal, I heal, I heal. I heal from what I did not have. I heal from what I did have that I did not want. Today I heal. After we heal, we have to acknowledge what went wrong. What could I have done differently? What boundaries did I allow to be breached? Relationally, financially, with my investments, with my mindset. Where did I put my energy and I didn't get anything back in return? It's like investing in a vending machine with a sign on it that says out of order. And I'm convinced that many of us invest in people and places that are just simply out of order. And this is why we're drained. And this is why we're tired. And this is why we're weary and well-doing. And this is why the day is mundane and it's the same old, same old. Something's got to change with you. I'm just wondering if you're going to repeat the cycle. If the redundancy of mediocrity is going to continue. We've got purpose and we've got fulfillment and we've got destiny breathing down our necks. Let's accept the truth. This is the only way the day matters, is if we get aware of what's happening and what's going on. What has my attention? Do I have the attention span of a toddler or a champion? And so once we accept where we are and we accept that truth, we got to give ourselves time to heal. We got to learn from not only our mistakes, but learn from others' mistakes. We have to study why we fail, how we fail, and we've got to ensure that we never do it again. If you're going to win the war for the day, you're going to have a high threshold for pain. You will be offended. People will let you down. People will lie to you. Places, circumstances, life will unfold and unravel. This life will knock you in your mouth. But you gotta stay focused. Even when it's painful, even when we're ostracized, even when we're excommunicated and ghosted, it may hurt, but that pain will subside. If you're going to crush this day, this week, this month, this quarter, and this year, and if the rest of your life is going to be the best of your life, you're going to have to think differently, plan differently, set the goal, and you're going to have to write it down. You've got to get clear, you've got to get specific, and once you get specific, what you wrote down mandates what you do. I said it before, I say it again. Oftentimes, the day feels mundane and meaningless because we are directionless. Write the vision down. Get clear, get specific, write it down. Document it. Get serious about it. Write it, read it. If you want to see success, then you need to make the planning stages significant, and you need to see the value in the process. We want wealth, but we don't want a plan. We want success, but we don't want significance.
We want connection, but we don't want correction. I've got to write it down, and not only write it down, but I need my circle of accountability to correct things that may be wrong. Because if you're trying to build this dream and walk in your destiny by yourself, if you think you can pull it off with no help, with no purpose partner, then it's too small. I'm speaking healing over you. I'm speaking breakthrough over you. I'm speaking that you walk into your future, that you'll let go of what was to step into what is. I believe this for you. I believe that as you become and not just do, that what you seek will pursue you. Destiny will begin to chase you down. No matter how far you have sunk, no matter how hard you have fallen, you've got enough grit, you've got enough grace, you've got enough faith, you've got enough courage to stand up. It's time to rise. This is your day. Get up and conquer your day. You will need to normalize in your mind walking alone. You gotta get up on your own. You gotta be able to make big decisions on your own. You gotta lose weight on your own. There are a myriad of targets you have to hit by yourself. Oftentimes, it's the people that go away into a very healthy isolation to equip themselves, to condition themselves, to educate themselves, to come out empowered. And so you gotta get into this workspace where you can do it by yourself. It doesn't matter if it's the office, it doesn't matter if it's the gym, it doesn't matter if it's the court, it doesn't matter if it's the field, it doesn't matter what arena you are stepping into. You gotta get to that place where you don't need attention, you don't need recognition, you don't need the accolades. You just wanna put in the work, and the next time you surface, the next time you show up, it's game over.
If you throw me to the wolves, I'll return, leading the pack. You see, a wolf is willing to leave its pack behind and find a new one. The time is now when we must adopt the wolf mentality. Be relentless, resilient, never quit, and never look back.
I know what it feels like to be fractured and falling into pieces. But you gotta silence the voices in your head that are telling you you need a shortcut, you need a cheat code. Eliminate the negative, self-sabotaging voices. Find a mirror and tell yourself, I got this today. I got this today. I'm gonna make it. I'm going to create it. I'm going to build it. All I have is all I need. Resources may come and go. People may come and go. But I've got a vision, and I've got the provision, and I've got the determination and the discipline to hit my aims and to punch through my targets. Can you do this thing without attention? Can you do this thing without public affirmation? Can you do this thing without people telling you that you are everything to them? Without people applauding you and saying you're great, you're awesome, oh, you're amazing. Can you do this thing alone? Can you be your own cheerleader for a moment? Can you be your own hype man for a moment? Can you tell you, I'm good enough, I got this, that all I have is all I need? I believe in friendships and partnerships and collaboration and counsel and advice. But there are some things in life you are going to have to do alone. There are some arenas you're going to have to show up in, and nobody is coming. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to help you. Nobody's coming to show you a shortcut. You got to figure this out on your own. For most of us, nobody's going to feed us. You got to feed yourself. You want to lose the weight? You want to reach your target, your aim? You got to put the work in. You got to feed yourself the food that is required to power the body that you want. It's not about trying to be a lone ranger more than it is about taking responsibility
and prioritizing yourself first. There are some things in life nobody's gonna show up. It's all on you. I need you to find a mirror right now and tell yourself, it's all on me. It's all on me. This one is all on me. When I go get this degree, ultimately, I gotta go get this degree. When I go get this certification, ultimately, I got to get this certification. I've got to finish strong. I've got to condition myself. I've got to go get the education. I've got to get out of bed. I've got to go to the gym. I gotta eat clean. Nobody's gonna feed me. I gotta feed myself. If you're listening to me right now in the gym, on your walk, on your run, you're lifting, you're building, you're creating, you're imagining something, I just need you to push, and I need you to believe that you don't need the spotter, that you don't need the training wheels, that it is your time, that it is your turn, and you no longer need help, you no longer need assistance in this area of your life. Push like you have never pushed before. Give it everything you have, because that spotter is not gonna be there for you for the rest of your life. If you wanna grow 1 millimeter more, if you wanna push, just push a little harder. Everybody wants to grow a little bit taller, so we gotta push a little bit harder. Life is lived on levels, and I can't bring my spotter with me. The spotter cannot walk with you all of your life. At some point, you gotta say, I got this. I got this. Push! Look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, I got this. I got this. If I have to do it alone, I will. Because to fulfill this vision, to fulfill my destiny, ultimately, I'm depending on the God that put the dream in my heart and myself. With tears in your eyes, with broken hands and a heavy heart, if nobody is there and you are in a room by yourself, start alone, but get started. Help is coming, but everything rises and falls on you. Oftentimes, the people that you wanted in your life will reject you, and that rejection is protection. It is a blessing, because it's the same people that rejected you that will need you and that will rely on you. Come on, how many people have you tried to help and you were bleeding, battered, and broken? How many times have you called for help and the help was toxic? Come on, how many times have you asked for advice and the advice brought more adversity? Take responsibility for yourself. Take control of your life. I need you to understand your worth and stop playing the blame game. Because 9 times out of 10, the people that hurt you, you brought them into your life. And so you got to reflect over the past. You have to acknowledge the present, and you have to cast vision for your future and take accountability and kill the self-condemnation. Stop tearing yourself down on the inside. Stop saying one thing, thinking another, and acting in a whole nother way. How you think is how you talk, and how you talk must be how you behave. Because your thoughts will determine your behavior, and your behavior determines your future. And so everything's got to line up. And so you need an alignment, an internal alignment. I can't align you. You got to make the decision to align yourself. You can hear a speech and make a decision, but every day you have to make that decision. That decision has to evolve into discipline. And discipline turns into mastery. And mastery builds momentum. You're not going to always get it right, but you got to keep going. When you start alone, you possess a power that few can handle. If you're like most people, you've come to the end of yourself. You're watching this video right now. Out of over 100 billion pieces of content, you're listening to me at this appointed time in your life. This moment is your path to clarity. This speech is a catalyst for alignment and transformation. Let this be the last talk, the last moment that you need to change everything in your life. It's your turn, your time. It's time
to upgrade your operating system. And when you come to your breaking point, when you decide to get committed and devoted and you are determined that nothing will separate you from the destiny that you've been called to fulfill.
Everything is about to come alive in your life. Every day, approximately 150,000 people pass away. I don't mean to sound morbid, but I'm just being honest. They die. Let that statistic not only sink in, but serve as an underscore of the urgency of our existence and the fleeting nature of life. Let that be a reminder of your mortality.
At the end of our lives, we will ask ourselves, did we live? Did we love? Did we matter? Did we fulfill our destiny? Time is running out. Your days are numbered. It's time for your effort to become focused and effective.
But let me be clear about one thing. Your life will remain unchanged until you are willing to identify what is wrong with it and accept the responsibility to change it. If you wake up and do not like the life that you see and don't believe you are in alignment with God's purposes and plans for your life, the question is, how did I get here? We are all running a program. Some of us have been running the program of fear, scarcity, lack, doubt. Everything that's good sounds like a scam. That I'm supposed to be poor and broken and betrayed and tired and weary. That's the program that you run. That you have to be an employee for the rest of your life. That's a program.
The program you've been running has gotten you as far as you're gonna get. And if you don't upgrade, nothing is going to change.
Everything starts with a decision. Here is what we've got to come to grips with. Your time is limited. Your days are numbered. And you're moving so fast, wrapped in the swirl of busyness, distraction, and noise that you probably don't stop and think you are still here. It has been divinely orchestrated that you would hear me at this point in your life. And I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that the hand of God is on your life. I am proud of you. I'm proud that you're still listening to something that's life-giving, that would spark the ember of change in your heart. I'm proud of you. You made it this far out of every betrayal. You've been lied to. You've been stabbed in the back. You've gone through betrayal. You've gone through suffering and affliction. Some of you were left for dead, abandoned by people you thought would walk with you through this life. And they left you. And you're still here. You've been undervalued and overlooked and underpaid. And you're still here. And that counts for something.
It is in the who you are becoming that matters more than what you are achieving. Legends understand the beauty and the brilliance of the process. They have a growth mindset. They know what to do, when to do it, and why they're doing it. And they've developed the daily habits that align with the outcomes that they believe they've been destined to have.
And I can tell you that your life is a direct printout of your perspectives, your beliefs, your values. This is where our mindset, our beliefs, our thought, our patterns live in the mental layer, inside. And this is what determines my actions. What was passed down to us environmentally, generationally. This is the program we're running. It's all tethered to a belief system. Let me be clear. I don't think there's something's wrong with you. It's not that you're a bad person. It's what's the program you are running? Can we start with the reality that most people think that this thing is about working harder and hustling and grinding and cold plunging at 3 a.m. You can cold plunge all you want. You can consistently do the wrong thing. If you're not seeing results in any area of your life, and you might be abundant in one, but totally living in lack and scarcity in another. It's because something in your program is not aligned with the plans and purposes of God for your life. This program that you've been running in your mind, it determines your decisions, your actions, your relationships, your finances, even your health. So here's what most people do. They try to work harder in the tangible realm. They think if they wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and have this nobody's gonna outwork me mentality, and I'm gonna sacrifice, and I'm gonna hustle, and I'm gonna grind, but it doesn't matter how tall the ladder is that you're climbing. If your ladder's up against the wrong building, everything you are doing is in vain. So we think if we grind and if we push ourselves, thinking that effort alone is the answer, but effort without alignment is a waste of energy. It's like trying to build a house without any plans. You can spend a whole lot of time and a whole lot of money, but you're not gonna get anywhere without the plans, without pouring the concrete, without laying the foundation, without understanding why you do what you do. If all you're doing is cold plunging at 3 o'clock in the morning, lifting weights, and making it all physical, then you are leaving massive potential on the table. It's in the physical realm where action happens, where effort meets results. But if my mental program is not aligned with the purposes and plans for my life, then effort will only take me so far. This is where we find ourselves wrapped in artificial significance I like to call busyness, where we consistently feel like we are spinning our wheels, we're working harder without making any real progress. Everybody wants the exterior first. You want new zip codes and new area codes. But transcendence is an inside job. Everything starts internally. If you keep making this thing about the tangible realm, the physical, what you see, and not your inner man, what's happening in your mind, then you're gonna miss the mark. And this is where we realize our potential and we identify where we are sabotaging ourselves. It's time for you to get out of your own way and cancel your subscription to self-sabotage now. We need an upgrade. We need an alignment. We need our thoughts, our ideas, our values, our perspectives to align with the purposes of God for our life. We need more alignment, not effort. It's not about who can hustle or grind. Give me somebody who's hustling. Give me somebody who's grinding and fighting tooth and nail. And I will show you somebody who is aligned. Because alignment replaces effort. Because our actions are aligned with our deepest intentions. And when I am aligned, the results that I'm looking for come exponentially faster. This is where success and accomplishment feels effortless. That version of you is going to get that life that you dream of. It's your turn, your time,